everybody. We've got something a little bit different today. I'm delighted to be with my good friend Edyta Górecka, who is an HR global executive and a CHRO. And I'll just add one thing. I had the pleasure of working with Edyta, many moons ago, but she's probably one of the HR specialists that really understands the last mile space. And I think that's really important and relevant today. So welcome, Edyta.
Thank you, Marek.
Okay, we're going to talk about a really cool topic, and it's about the fact that AI isn't really testing your technology, but probably your leadership. And I got a few questions that I wanted to ask you because I think they'll be very interesting, actually for me, but also for the audience. The first one is, many organizations treat implementation of AI purely as a technology rollout. Do you think they're wrong in doing so?
Well, they are not wrong because the technology is at the core of it, right? And we are all learning the new technology, we are discovering it. But I believe, and there are some experts who also say that implementation of HR is really 70% about culture and change and 20% about compliance and legal and only 10% technology. Because at the end of the day, this is about how we change the organization, how we change the work, and how we change the environment for the AI adoption.
So really, even if you've got the best technology, you've used AI to the hilt, if your sort of ideas at the beginning are wrong, you're just going to generate, shall we say, very effective, automated, erroneous, as it were, plans.
I don't want to say there's a mistake that many companies are making now because, there's not so many playbooks how to implement it. But of course, you start with the low-hanging fruits. So you implement the AI tools, which are just optimizing your workforce and optimizing your cost. But this is not the ultimate purpose of AI. It's really to redesign your strategy, redesign the work environment, and to think how in this new strategy and this new purpose for the humans, how that can coexist together and bring the strategy more, into the realization.
Well, fascinating. And I have to say, at the moment, most of the AI tools that I've seen are at the operations side, maybe the commercial side, the customer experience. I've not really seen so many, or I'm missing something on the HR side.
Well, it's rapidly developing, because of course, as you said, in Salesforce we use, in automation in the machines we use AI since years. But now, nowadays in majority of the companies, every employee would use ChatGPT or Copilot, like your personal assistant. But there are more specialized tools as well. So in HR, what we use, a very simple, you probably used it, the bots. The bot is really giving the answers from all policies that the company has. And it's a huge help for the HR professionals who do not need to answer the same questions again and again every day. But it does not stop there. It's also for onboarding. Think about onboarding for blue collars in the plant. So normally it takes 3-4 months for the employee to come, to understand the machine. You can do it completely virtual using AI technology, and you can simulate some mistakes of the machine or breakdowns of the machine, and then employees learning. But then it goes further. Now, big topic for HR is recruitment. And there are many people who are against and for it. I believe that help of the AI in recruitment is essential, but it needs to be very transparent that there is an AI agent who is having the interview, and every candidate should understand how humans will intervene in the decision-making in the process. But there are also tools for coaching, there are tools for development, very rapidly growing, actually.
So it's really vast. I remember many moons ago, would be about 12 years ago, 10 years ago, when I was at Amazon, and these guys were state of the art at the time, and they were already looking at, how very early stage, how we can measure whether somebody is going to be good at a certain job so that we don't waste somebody's time and our time on seeking to recruit someone where there's a big chance that they're not going to feel comfortable in the job. Training as well. There was something called I don't think they called it Amazon University, but it was very manual then. I can imagine a lot of that could be automated. But one of the things, I don't know, Eddie, if you've ever seen this, I really like it. It was interactive communication with blue collar staff to see if everything's okay. So just a message every Monday saying, "Hey, Edyta, how are you today?" And you know how it worked. If somebody said, "I'm great," then it's fine. But if somebody said, "Well, I'm not feeling too great today," then it only works if the system follows up.
Yeah, right. And today we can take it really to the personalized experience, even to the next level. But the point is, you touched upon very interesting topic, how the role of leaders need to change in the huge adoption of AI. Because the example which you made is in fact also related to how the leaders need to follow up with what's going on in the reality of the employees every day. It's not only knowing I'm fine, I'm not. It's also helping employees to navigate in this new environment with the AI tools. So the role of leader is much less telling what to do or asking or even, coaching questions, less of that, but more helping to navigate this new environment. This is completely new for leaders. Many leaders, they do not know how to start doing it because it's also new for them.
And I think you very cleverly brought us back to the core topic, because this is such a big topic. There's so many exciting elements, but that is really the big thing. Is AI itself probably won't make humans obsolete. It will help them, but poor leadership and poor decisions by that leadership really might. Let's move on to something else. We talk about so-called human-led but AI-powered approaches. What does that mean in practice?
Well, it's a very good point, because many organizations are now implementing AI tools, as we said at the beginning, as a cost saving or basically a performance improvement. But if you make it AI-centered organization with the human-led, it means that we can take it to the next level. I give a very simple example. I've heard somebody saying recently, like, okay, when we invented computers or when we had Excel files, does it mean that the humans become obsolete? No, they didn't. So there was a moment of adaptation to this new technology and thinking how humans can really lead the way and ask the right questions, make the right judgment, because we all know AI is biased because it's using the data which is there. But guess what? Humans are biased as well. And we are biased positively towards AI. And we say like, oh, if we hear that is a solution from AI, that's probably perfect. Not necessary, because AI might not have the right context. So I think this, the AI and humans collaboration, it's really the best way to get the best out of the two worlds.
So effectively, what we're saying is that the humans need to direct, and it's a bit like the old saying, even before AI, rubbish in, rubbish out. If we direct it correctly and use it well, we'll get good outputs.
Right, absolutely. And it's even more to the point that when you have got agentic AI, meaning that you work with the group of agents, it's very important the prompt, which is written by the human. Then there would be agents, including the agent manager, who will spread the tasks. And then the output of the work, which can be done completely autonomously for months, need to be checked through critical thinking by the human. And human needs to say, is it really in line with the prompt which was there? How does it fit to the whole process? What is missing? And challenge the AI outcome really in the context of the human application. And only then that really makes sense.
So the role of the human changes more to fine-tuning and checking, rather than having to do the laborious work in the middle, as it were.
Right. And when I looked recently on the list of the positions or jobs which would be very significantly important in the future world. And of course there were positions very much related to the technical aspects of the AI. But what struck me was that there was a critical thinking of the humans, and that even becomes a job title to a certain point. I don't know what exactly that would be, but there's somebody who is always looking for the potential issues. And the other one was around burnout and managing human emotions and making sure we help humans to find the motivation and really to answer the question, what is it in for me? And I like this approach, because I think these two areas cannot be neglected in this new technical environment.
Absolutely fascinating. One question that I've been thinking about is, where could AI and how will it change HR, recruitment, learning, leadership, but especially from Courier Express Parcel and last mile angle?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic question, because, AI is really, really helpful in the mass recruitment, in the mass training. And we know that in the last mile, there is a high turnover of couriers. We work together in this sector. So, I know a little bit about that. So where that could help, first in the recruitment, in the big scale recruitment. Imagine you get 3,000 CVs of people who almost have no experience. How would you judge? How would you qualify that this is the right candidate or this is not? And you cannot spend thousands of hours of humans just to have a 1 hour conversation. This is where AI really can play the role. Of course, you put the prompt, you check what are the critical skills you need to have. Today, AI is even checking the appearance of the candidates. So it's checking, how the candidate looks like, how they talk, because at the end of the day, and that's what I remember from the time we worked together, at the end of the day, the courier is also the customer facing, the only person customer facing, if there is a connection. So that's one. Two is everything related to training. There are many procedures, there are many tools like handhelds, like you need to have the special routes. I'm not even talking about optimization of the routes for the last mile, because you are experts in that, but that would be the first step. But then it's also, how do I really learn everything what is required from me? How I can do the work which is not, there I don't make mistakes. So this is where it can be, and also in performance.
Before we move on, because I think this is a really fascinating point. So historically, what would happen? A new courier would typically spend 3 or 4 days with an experienced courier, which is very, shall we say, inefficient in the sense that you've got 2 people doing the same thing. Do you think that AI could mean that instead of having several days, you maybe have 1 day with a courier and the rest is with a machine holding your hand virtually through the process?
It's good that you said 1 day with the courier, because if you would say 0 days with the courier, I would probably say no, it's not possible, because there are some tricks, there are some ways how the couriers are really handling the work. But to reduce it 2/3 to 1 day, I think that's the future.
And you could probably even support and train those teaching couriers, as it were, to do an even better job.
Oh, that's an excellent example. I was on the conference last week, and then there was a company which was having an issue with the knowledge transfer. They were a global company, and they were in agriculture. And there was just one guy, 67 years old, in Argentina, who didn't speak any other language than Spanish. And then they really wanted to roll out this knowledge which he had to all the sites globally, and it was impossible. So then imagine if you create an AI agent out of, or avatar, basically, right, out of the knowledge of this one person. Imagine it's accessible 24 hours in all languages to all employees. And the same can be with the courier. Yeah.
Well, you know what? The more we get into the discussion, the more opportunities and ideas. And we could frankly, I think, talk for days about just individual elements. But I interrupted you. You wanted to share one final point, if I recall correctly.
Well, I just wanted to say that, really we need to think from the people perspective. And you were asking about the couriers, the support, and in every industry, we need to think about AI as an enhancement, enabler, and really the way how it can work with the partnership with humans. Think about the coaching. That was the example I wanted to give. I was testing recently the tool with the life coaches, and these coaches were not just only created using the general knowledge. They were again avatars of one of the best coaches and experts in the field globally. So imagine you have got access to this platform. This is the avatar of you, for example, but I have got access to all your knowledge 24 hours. I can even have a discussion with you, preparing me for my difficult conversation with the customer tomorrow without bothering you. But with you, I have got once per month, 1 hour, when you really enhance it. And then I appreciate the connection with you as a human, and I use the best out of your knowledge during the whole month using the AI. And this is where I believe human contact will move from being a commodity today, we take it for granted that we talk to people, to really an added value specialty tomorrow. But it needs to be a blend between the human connection and building the trust and motivation and using the AI in the right way.
Are there any things, Edyta, that you think are really important that we didn't get to cover?
Look, this is such a new thing for all of us, right? So I think the viewers might have their own questions or even thesis. I'm very happy to hear what the viewers think about our exchange, but also what is on their mind. What are the critical, burning questions they have got today? Maybe we could discuss together and inspire somebody to look at things in a different way.
Well, Edyta, I'm certainly inspired. Please, if you are an HR specialist in the out-of-home space, feel free to comment below. If you're not an HR specialist, but you feel that there are opportunities, you're an operations manager or a CEO, and you want to make sure that your leadership is taking things in the right direction, also feel free to comment below or to contact Edyta or me via LinkedIn. Edyta, it was absolutely super. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it very much and looking forward.